Your constant begging for subscribers annoys me. Please stop. My man begging for subscribers like every video. Can't wait for One Piece to end, which will end his career as well. Stop begging for subscribers. Like, come on, man. This channel was way better before you did that. I don't know what gives me more cancer. Looking at an atomic bomb going off 75 kilometers away, or people begging for subscribers. I want to kill myself, but that's nothing new. So wow. People have pretty strong opinions about YouTubers asking them to, hit that subscribe button or smash it or whatever. Honestly, you could whip out your genitals, slam them down on your device, and as long as it triggers a function that turns that subscribe into a subscribed, I'm all for it. This is the reason why YouTubers quote unquote beg for subscribers. Reasons plural actually, because it goes so much deeper than you could and perhaps even should imagine. Subscribers are nowhere near as important as you'd think. However, on the flip side, they're also significantly more important than you think. It depends on what you're thinking about. I'm gonna show you both. Like, it's tricky. Subscribing and being subscribed on YouTube is just not as simple as it used to be. But reason number the first why YouTubers beg is simply because it works. Conventional wisdom says that if you like a video that someone is making, then you will obviously subscribe to their channel because you want more of those delicious videos. And that's just not true of most people. Not all people. It is true of some people, but nowhere near the vast majority. It won't even occur to consider hitting that button to most people unless you are reminded by the video maker themselves. And this can be easily empirically measured. Creators who ask, or we need a better way of saying that actually, creators who have a call to action to subscribe, that sounds more positive. On average, creators who do that result in significantly higher conversions. For example, on my main channel Grand Line Review, I did a test of this back in the day. So throughout a 1-month period, half of my videos had no call to subscribe and the other half did. And wouldn't you know it, the videos that included that call on average got double, sometimes even triple the amount of new subscribers that the ones without the call to action did. And I know this because YouTube very handily tells us how many people subscribed as a direct result of each individual video. But it's absolutely insane because it can really just be as simple as saying, subscribe, and then bam, significant growth. And quite frankly, it's almost YouTube malpractice not to use it in some way, shape, or form. It's kind of like asking a builder to construct a house without their most productive tools. I mean, sure, the house will get built eventually, just a hell of a lot slower than it could have been. And there are definitely aberrations to this. Some people, I say people because they're usually very captivating personalities, some people that don't need this call to action, but they are one in a million gems. The vast majority of people on this platform need to be using this. And as for why, well, reason number 2 as to why we continuously beg for your clicks is super simple. It's because being subscribed to the channel makes it more likely that you will see that channel's videos being fed to your homepage or your recommended in the future. Which sounds like such common sense that I probably shouldn't have said it, but again, it's a bit more difficult than that these days. In the old days of the YouTube platform, you being subscribed to a channel automatically meant that you would see all of their new videos pop up. And that's just not the case anymore. And being subscribed is one of hundreds of different metrics that the algorithm uses to feed you videos. It is an important one though, it's weighted quite heavily because it shows an active desire to watch more of the thing it is that you subscribe to. But this is why you'll often hear complaints of stuff like, I'm subscribed to this person, but their videos never show up in my feed. And that's because YouTube has decided that you're probably more likely to click on other videos using other metrics of measurement rather than the person you subscribe to. Because YouTube generally knows what you want better than you do. And honestly, it's kind of true. It's scarily true. But that is quite annoying to us as video makers because it comes very, very close to defeating the purpose of subscribing altogether. And YouTube did eventually recognize that, which is why they added the extra step of adding the bell, which is basically like subscribing again, like a double subscription, because it tells YouTube that, no, I did subscribe to this person, but I like really want to see their videos. So if you do want to properly subscribe to a channel, then you need to hit that bell as well, which is ridiculous, but it is what it is. And that's why subscribing is less important than many users may think. In fact, of the holy YouTube number trinity, which have views, watch time, and subscribers are easily the least important metric of the three. Still very important, but big sub numbers do not dictate big performance like they used to. Which is also annoying because this is where I think the true despise for begging for subs comes from. Because there are too many channels that just ask for too much. They're all like, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell and leave a comment and sign a contract giving me your firstborn. And that's just too many things. In a call to action, just say one thing. As soon as someone tells me to do 3 to 4 things, I'm just like, oh, Sounds like a lot of work, man. And I'm just gonna not do anything instead. Now, reason number 3 why YouTubers beg for subscribers is much more business geared, which probably isn't what viewers want to hear, because in an ideal world, creators are just making stuff to contribute to the community of entertainment. But that is not quite the utopia we live in, and particularly with things like sponsors, subscribers matter significantly more than they should. Sponsors, I guess I should say in my personal experience, they aren't particularly in tune with the YouTube ecosystem, and when deciding what to offer you, the subscriber count dictates a lot. Like, really, what they should be considering is views. I mean, views in like your geographical information, but views will inform their CPM or cost per mile, and they do definitely look at views and geographics and that information as well. However, a channel with 1 million subscribers could easily command a significantly higher sponsorship price than another with 500,000, even if they're getting exactly the same views. In fact, the 500,000 channel could be getting even more but paid even less. It's bizarre, but I guess that's a level of prestige that the subscriber number gives a creator. There's a saying I've heard floating around here and there, which is very true. Subscribers are vanity, views are sanity. You would much rather have 1 million viewers on a 1,000 subscriber channel than 1,000 views on a 1 million subscriber channel. But speaking of vanity, that is reason number 4. YouTube rewards collecting subscribers in a way that they don't reward anything else. Once you hit certain milestones, YouTube sends out these very funky awards known as play buttons. Now, the first level is 100,000 subscribers, which gets you this here funky silver one. Then at 1 million, they send you a much bigger gold one, and then at 10 million, you get a funky diamond one. And then after that, it gets into these like crazy 50 million custom awards, which I'm not sure if they do anymore, and hardly anyone has ever attained. But still, it gives creators a goal, something to work towards, even if these hold little to like arguably ultimately no value. But I can tell you it definitely doesn't feel like that. When I was close to hitting 100,000, I was excited and driven to hit that goal, which my audience would have seen the great benefit of because it inspired me to make more entertaining videos more often in order to get more numbo things. Did I say numbo? I meant number. Oh, and have we mentioned money yet? Because we honestly probably should. Number 5 is it is money, because you subscribing makes you viewing more likely, and you viewing means more money. So subscribing does have a kind of roundabout effect on income, a positive one generally, although there are cases where subscribing can hurt or even outright kill a channel. As a basic example of that, imagine if I used my main channel platform to tell you all to subscribe to a new and fun random creator on the internet. Sure, that person would see a huge boost of activity, like let's say they get 10,000 subscribers just off my recommendation, but the vast majority of people who did subscribe would have done so off said recommendation, because I suggested it, and they probably subscribed without even watching that channel's videos first, which means that this new channel could end up with 10,000 empty subscribers. And that is absolutely deadly, because when YouTube feeds those 10,000 subscribers a new video and no one clicks it, then YouTube will essentially consider your channel dead, which is why sudden bursts of growth are very high risk, high reward, as well as why it's really not a great idea just to platform people so straightforwardly, because it can really end up hurting them. On the flip side of this argument, you'll often hear from people who despise being asked to subscribe, like the commenters I mentioned at the beginning of the video. The argument they will make is that real creators don't need to ask people to subscribe, because a lot of people do just get there naturally. However, the examples cited tend to be creators who have quite a bit of history on YouTube that isn't immediately apparent if you're just watching their channels. People like Moist Critical come to mind. He has a channel of almost 10 million subscribers and just doesn't ask for anything ever. However, he has been on the platform since the dawn of time. That is why he looks like Jesus, because that was the predominant fashion when Charlie started his channel in 0 AD. So by the time this whole subscribe meta came around, he already had a critical mass of following from those very early days, which is why he can get away with a whole ton of things that you and I, and especially you, but also I guess kind of I, whatever, what he can do, we cannot. Or maybe I can, because here's the thing, I made a very conscious decision not to ask people to subscribe to this channel. And again, it's because it's kind of like a back-end look into YouTube, so even though it's objectively inefficient, I kind of don't want to go through that layer right now. I'm not saying it'll never happen, but it's just not a priority. To give you some insight into the breakdown though, here are the view stats for Dude in a Room over the past 28 days, showing that 41% of watch time came from subscribers. So the vast majority of people watching this video are unsubscribed, and that's not particularly uncommon, not at all. In fact, I'd say that most channels that just don't have have a call to subscribe could even be sitting at more of a 10% 90% ratio. That's 10% subscribed, 90% unsubscribed, that is. And it also depends on the niche because, for example, it's a lot harder to get people to subscribe to tutorial channels because people just generally get in, they grab that information and then they leave. Now, having said all of this, I do have a bit of a warning for everyone wanting to start their own channels, or perhaps you already have. If so, congratulations. That's a very hard step. And I don't mean that sarcastically. I just realized it kind of sounded sarcastic. Legit, actually creating the channel is one of the hardest steps, so just do it. But asking for subscribers, whilst objectively effective, is not a great idea from day one. When you're first getting started, what you want is for people to actively subscribe completely of their own volition and to build a core audience of those people. The reason why is because those are the ones who are significantly more likely to click than, say, someone who you convinced to subscribe just because you asked them to, I guess. And in the early days, a handful of empty subscribers can make a huge difference to the algorithm serving, so you really want to keep that strong core inspired audience. I also think it makes a big difference at a low level because if you're asking for subscribers from day one, then it might risk giving people the wrong impression. You know, it might create the impression that you're just in this game to build a channel and make money and stuff, as opposed to having a genuine passion and something that you want to share. And again, like, yeah, this whole subscribing thing is confusing because asking for them can mean different things at different stages, and it also depends a lot on how you ask as well. Because there is a point where you will want to start asking, and when you do, please find a creative way to do it. There's nothing worse than seeing a subscribe button flash on screen with a mouse that clicks on it with like some obnoxious noise like a ding ding ding. And the way I see it is if I'm asking someone to subscribe, then I need to offer some kind of value to them in return, because the promise of future videos is not that value. They can have that anyway. Which is why on Grand Line Review, at least I do things a bit more left field. Right now I have a subscriber of the day initiative where 3 random subscribers get featured in each video. So the promise of value there is the chance that you will have your name displayed on glorious screen. And every now and then I also do subscriber games where if a viewer loses, then they need to subscribe, which I think is fun. You know, you offer someone a game, you give them some engaging entertainment, and then if all goes well, that person will go, fair enough, internet man, you got me this time, and keep their part of the bargain. In the old days of Grand Line Review, I also used to tell jokes, the punchline of which was always a character describing the subscribe button or pressing it or having it change their life in some kind of way, which again was designed to provide a sort of exchange. I make you laugh and you press button. And I'm always trying to find new ways to build and involve the community in my videos, and subscribing forms a huge part of that endeavor, which is also the primary reason why I want to hit 1 million subscribers on Grand Line Review. Theoretically, it holds no greater value than, say, 900,999, but I really want to be able to show to the world that there are at least 1 million One Piece fans out there, which there are millions and millions. So I want to bring at least 1 million of us together and show that, yeah, we're a pretty big and damn amazing fan base. That and also reasons 1 through 5, which I listed earlier.